The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café.
Welcome to this episode of Pit Life BBQ. Gather round the pit with your hosts, Johnny Maggs and Greg the Barbecue Broker DiGiorgio. Let's talk barbecue.
Let's talk barbecue. Let's go.
I just want to go on the record.
Are you going to say it? Don't spray it, asshole.
You said it, not me. Oh, good night. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you next week.
We're until Thursday. Try the meal.
Oh, we're in rare form. What's up, everybody?
Welcome.
Coming to you live from the Studio 21 Podcast Café in Salem, New Hampshire. It's Pit Life BBQ Podcast, where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics that you normally talk around the pit.
What's up?
As always, I'm joined by the barbecue broker. Hi, pal.
Hi.
What'd you do to your arm other than shave it?
Do you want to
sissy?
know? I fell down the stairs the
Drunk.
morning of this important morning that I had this Saturday. I got up at
when you got the wood?
4:30, and I fell down the stairs, bruised my tailbone, scraped my arm. I thought my bone popped out of my arm. I didn't even want to look. It hurt so bad. I'm getting old, and I just got up. I was getting ready for the comp. When I fell and I was sliding down the stairs on my back, there was a couple seconds where I'm like, I'm not going to make it today. And I'm going to be in the hospital.
Uh-oh.
That's what I thought.
You do know I fought a wall, right? At some point.
A what?
A wall.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I get it. It was kind of one of those episodes, except I wasn't shit-faced, blackout drunk.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was shit-faced blackout drunk, so I don't even remember.
Yeah. So,
Anywho, Daddy Dutch, what's up? Mike C. Claudia is watching. Okay. Uncle Steve. Terry, what's happening? Chris.
but obviously it didn't affect our performance. First place ribs at the Bedlin.
What do you got there?
Bedlin,
Fancy,
Bedlin Barbecue.
fancy.
It's just a local comp. It's no KCBS or anything like that, but we had 20 great teams.
Win's a win.
And we won. It was unlike KCBS where they go for appearance, taste, and tenderness. This was more of an appearance, taste, and creativity thing. So you're able to kind of go outside the box. They're not looking for just brisket in a box or plain, chicken thighs or even just plain ribs. So how do you make ribs different? What do you do to make the ribs different?
You deep fry them.
You deep fry those assholes up, and that's what we did. And then you came up with the idea of stuffing them with cheese.
Oh, jalapeno popper.
Which would have been amazing.
Tenderness to remove the bone,
Which
then pipe the jalapeno popper stuffing.
But you know what works?
Inside. Then you wrap it with bacon, which keeps the cheese in.
Well, the cheese. So that was the idea. I didn't want the cheese to pop out, ruin the presentation. I did take out a couple of the bones, replace them with a stick of mozzarella cheese. But the oil was too hot. The cheese didn't melt enough time, and the outside. I just didn't want to mess with it. I'll practice it for next time. But it was the deep fried, smo-fried ribs with the New England Pitmaster all-purpose rub and the barbecue broker sauce that took the win. Fell short on chicken and beef, but whatever. We'll learn.
Up? Efren, what's up?
Had a
Kevin,
blast.
what's happening? Ben,
What's up, Kev?
Joe, what's happening?
So it's a huge shout-out to Len Will for putting together. Well, I remember my first time on the show. For putting on such a spectacular event. Congrats to Chris Rosinski, the grand champion. Big Ben Ross, first place on chicken.
Juke, what's happening?
Lots of New England Pitmasters coming out and getting walks during the event, so it was just spectacular. Unlike the hardware we have, our guest might have to show us today. Before we get into it all,
Today is brought to you by
Uncle Steve's Shake. You ever wonder why no one's coming to your barbecues, but they're going to Chrissy's? It's because Chrissy's using Uncle Steve's Shake, which means one thing. John.
Better get you some.
Damn straight. Uncle Steve's
Almost
Shake
poked
is...
my eye out.
I saw that.
Uncle Steve's Shake
He hit
is
himself with
handmade,
his hand.
uses only the finest ingredients, and comes in 12 amazing flavors. If you could eat it, Uncle Steve has a shake for it. And if you have any shake questions, Uncle Steve has fantastic customer service, walking through all your shake needs. It's time to take your backyard and your competition game to to that next level using Uncle Steve's Shake. Shake some on everything. I didn't even need the
I know,
teleprompter,
like, why am
Chrissy.
I-
What are you
I'm
even doing? I
lost.
just
I don't
like it
know.
there, just in case. This episode also brought to you by...
Two Guys Smoke Shop and twoguyscigars.com. Whether we are barbecuing or not, we always keep the smoke rolling. Thanks to our friends at twoguyscigars.com. Today we are smoking the Hammer and Sickle, Connecticut. Thanks to our friends at twoguyscigars.com, we get to smoke some of the best cigars in the world, and so can you. Just visit twoguyscigars.com for your perfect barbecue companion. That's the number 2guyscigars.com.
Look at Chris Rosinski, our grand champion, is in the lobby. This episode also brought to you by Backline Smokers and Backline Fabrication in Austin, Texas. Mr. Ryan Newling doing some fantastic stuff out of his one-man shop. His hands touch everything, unlike some of the big pit builders out there. Not one pit comes out looking the same. Not one live fire device. However, they do have the multi-tool, which is
Don't
an
even get me started.
amazing,
I don't wanna
amazing
talk about it.
live fire contraption, open fire grilling, plancha. You can even hang shit. It's amazing.
You should have seen it live
Oh,
and
dude.
running on Thursday night.
If you're looking for an amazing one-off custom pit, you got to hit up Backline Fabrication in Austin, Texas. Ryan Newland, check him out, backlinefabrication.com. Let's go. Let's go. Ben Ross, first place chicken, second place overall, Ben Ross, Barbecue Bedlam. Nice to have you in the lobby, my dude. What's up, dude?
You ready?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I am thrilled. This interview is way overdue. Between work before and the schedule just couldn't jive. Finally, we're able to get this. So please welcome my dear friend and brother from Chicken Fried BBQ, Mr. Bill Purvis. What's happening, brother?
Hey, Bill.
All good, gentlemen. Finally, nice to make an appearance, Johnny Mag.
Hell yeah,
appreciate
brother.
The invite, man.
Yeah,
Hell
it's
yeah.
been a long time coming.
I've been waiting. You know, surely Johnny's going to call me at some point. You know, I know he's a Chicken Fried fan, so I knew it was going to happen at some point. And like I said, you'd asked me a couple of weeks ago. So when you sent the post, I was like, "Oh man, I hope I do good at the Royal. I got to be on this show on Tuesday. I hope I have some good results." So
See, I had to stoke the fire a little
The
bit.
pressure of it all.
yeah, yeah.
Not that you had enough pressure after cooking the Royal.
You were
I
actually
need to-
concerned about the show? I like that. That's actually amazing, dude.
You're always concerned. Always concerned, you know?
Awesome.
So Bill, just for everybody, we always start out the same way. Who is Bill Purvis? How did Chicken Fried BBQ come about? And how did you get your start in barbecue?
So I live in Houston, or I grew up in Houston. I live in a small town outside of Houston at the moment, but it's largely considered Houston. I mean, it's maybe 45 minutes away, an hour away. Mm-hmm. But the company I worked at previously, we sponsored one of the rodeo tents. So I would take clients down to the Houston rodeo and take them to all the parties. The Houston rodeo cook-off there's a cook-off, but it's also very much a party scene. Lots of clubs, lots of wristbands. You've got to, you've got to have a wristband to get inside to any of the parties. And, all of our clients wanted to go to the parties, so we would sponsor a team. And from there, I hooked in with a team there and just started kind of helping out and went and did a couple of local cook-offs that weren't the rodeo. And, all of a sudden got the bug and just started running them down and soaking it all in. So, didn't take very long. I think barbecue's funny. It's kind of like golf. When you're ready to give up, it'll let you hit that shot right down the middle and just sink you right back into it, you know? And early on, I got a reserve gram with a first place rib, and that was all I needed to keep going, So, and it's been going, like I said, there's ups and downs, but for sure, it's enough to keep you hooked and keep you coming back, week in and week out. So
Yeah.
congratulations on that first place rib, bro. That's
Thanks,
awesome,
dude. It was only our second time ever competing. The first time was at KCBS back in June. Kind of got our asses handed to us, but we didn't come last in any category, or DQ'd, which was good.
Right.
But it was fun to get this one, and yeah, man, I can definitely understand the addiction portion of it. John already has had a taste of it. From doing some comps before, some chicken wing comps, some rib comps, local, and now I got that bug, man. You want to get out there and show people your craft. You want to show the world what you've been working on.
The adrenaline starts when you get in the truck and start driving to the comp. You already kind of get a small sense of the adrenaline of what's going to happen. Am I going to get a first place chicken or a first place rib? Or
anxiety.
The game starts as soon as you start driving to the comp. And it's an awesome. It's a drug, and it's terrible, actually. I'm ready to go to Tennessee here in the next 2 days. So I'm back in the truck, and I'll probably leave Thursday morning and start heading out, and we'll drive all day to get to Tennessee.
Being a competition cook is surely, it's like being an artist, when you're going out there to showcase your creativity, in your art, because it is art. I mean, as much as it's a taste tenderness, it is freaking art, right? I mean, the way, your pork box was ridiculous looking, like with this. With the tubes.
We have.
Holy!
Bill, I stole a couple pictures today,
phenomenal.
so we can show. There it is, right there.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the tubes.
There's the chicken,
dude. So I had to ask you about this chicken. I'm noticing the glaze is only on top, or is it just? Did you glaze all around the sides too?
No. Those chickens are dunked in sauce. But the way whatever the lighting is in my trailer, in my trailer, it just, for whatever reason, it looks like it's only sauced on top, but it's actually those thighs have been dunked in sauce.
So I'm thinking, is that a technique? So when they bite into the sides, it doesn't make the skin rubbery. I need to know more.
It's just a camera. I want to get some better lights in my trailer so I can take a little bit better pictures.
And your ribs also looked phenomenal.
Because like I said, it kind of blocks out. It makes that glaze, or it makes the sauce look like it's only on top, but it's really it's dunked all the way around.
So you put the sixth rib. Go back to that, Chrissy. You put the sixth rib. On top. Tell me about that. Is that just because those were the ribs you liked and that's it? You wanted to use that? Because usually, are you doing 3 and 3, or are they across, or what was your play on that?
I do a lot of. I cook 3 racks of ribs. Mm-hmm. Just has been my process is cooking 3 racks of ribs. So typically, when I'm done cooking those, I'll taste all 3, and if 2 of them are 2 of the racks are very similar, then I might do a 4-on-4 box.
Okay.
But if I find that one rack is if I like one rack, substantially better than the other 2, then I will try to stick as many ribs out of that rack in the box and go with just 6 bones. Sometimes it's 5 ribs from one box or from one rack, and the 4th or the 6th rib from another rack.
Yep.
There's only 6 judges, so you only need 6 ribs. Okay. And the theory is you don't want to put anything in the box that's not your best meat. So I don't want, if I have one rack that's a lot better than the other rack, I don't want the other rack in my box.
Right.
I want the judges to taste my best food. So I do a lot of 6 bone boxes.
Okay. Okay.
But
good to know.
It's just you want to put your best meat in the box. They can only score you on what they taste. And if I've got some slump buster ribs, I don't try to hide them in the back of the box because the judge could easily go in the back and pick. I don't try to fill it just to fill it. I want to put the best meat in the box.
Got it. That makes sense. You think that some guys try to just use some ribs in the back just to prop it up? And that they're not the best meat?
It's KCBS is tricky because appearance, I think some people maybe put more, I do like a good looking box, don't get me wrong, but I don't want appearance to get in the way of taste and tenderness. Those 2 are weighted significantly more than appearance. And if, putting 10 ribs in a box may look really good, but if if the quality of those 10 ribs isn't your best, you may get great appearance score, but then you're going to get hammered on taste or texture. And
where the weight is.
Those scores carry a lot more weight than appearance.
Yep. That makes sense.
So I do like, I do like to put in a good looking box, but at the same time too, I don't want it to, I don't want it to jeopardize. If it's not the best rib or the best pork, then I want to try to leave it out of the box. So
Agreed. Yeah. You know what, Uncle Steve, Mags and I, we just might be there next year. You're damn right.
So
imagine that. That'd be amazing.
Ooh,
start saving. Let's
something.
Go. Let's do it.
So we've known each other a little over 3 years now, and we met through the YouTube community and the gang, and you were, if I'm not mistaken, you were dabbling in some competitions back then, but you weren't full bore like you are now.
Correct. I started kind of both of them at the same time, and I started playing around with YouTube as well as doing competitions. But I definitely wasn't as hooked on competitions as I have been the last couple of years. I think I was playing around with YouTube, and I figured, if I'm going to get on YouTube and tell everybody, hey, this is how you cook a great brisket, let me go see how my brisket stacks up in competition.
Love it. Freaking love it.
So it's easy to be an authority on things on the internet, right? But just me, and that's just me personally, I figured I wanted to go out and see how my barbecue, because I've barbecued my whole life. I played around and, like I said, sponsored a team, but I'm from Texas. I cooked my first brisket, I think, when I was probably 17 or 18,
Yeah.
I was a kid, and I cooked it on an Old Smoky and wiped it down with mustard and stuck some Old Bay seasoning on it. And who knows where I got all that information from, because there wasn't YouTube back then,
Nice.
But nevertheless, I wanted to see how my stuff stacked up, and in doing that, the hook got set on competitions, and then I wanted to do less and less YouTube, because I damn sure don't want to be telling all my competitors what I'm doing week in and week out. So I don't want to put my competition recipe. And then it's a case of, well, do I put a different recipe on there that I don't even use? And that, so it's kind of a catch-22. But, some people do. I mean, I think, some of these guys like Malcolm, he'll go out and compete, and he'll put his competition stuff out there. And
or is he, though? That's the question I've always had. Is he really, or is he just leaving out a few things? Okay, great. So he's like, I'm going to add some Blues Hog here. Yeah, we all know they use Blue Hog in competitions, but is he giving away everything is the question.
Right.
I'm not sure if he is. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows, but I'm sure he's probably given away enough information to get people close, At the end of the day, I mean, barbecue, I think, in competitions, you really just want to try to, you'll hear it, one bite, you want to pack as much flavor, but there's also the saying that you want to make the best middle of the road barbecue. You don't want it to be too spicy or too sweet or anything of, something is too much. If one person is going to be wowed by it, another person's going to be unwowed by it. And you want to stay away from people that are going to hammer you on the scorecard.
That's a really good piece of advice right there.
And this one guy, he just won't stop asking questions about you.
Who?
Daddy Dutch.
The Dutchie.
He's been harassing him all weekend.
I can't see the chat.
Why do you
I'm on my
now,
phone,
Kent?
so.
Why is it important to know where Bill is driving to now? Why do you need to know this information, Dutch?
He's in his driveway, Dutch.
Freaking nosy, Dutch. Love you, Dutch.
Yeah, I'm parked outside my outside the house because of the signal out here. So but I will be driving to Tennessee on Thursday, and I told Dutch, because Dutch was there with me.
Yes,
he wanted to come. Yeah. He wanted to come wash dishes, so I told him he could tag along, and he did a fantastic job. He didn't wash any dishes while he was there,
I kept seeing him on James and JB's lives,
Yeah,
He'd be
exactly.
the largest
He was
dishwasher
my
I've ever seen.
dishwasher that didn't wash any dishes.
Uh-huh.
You know, so.
So
I don't think my wife. I don't think my wife would let him wash any of the dishes. You know, so.
Yeah.
Bill, I have a question. So Juke Moreno says Bill's turn-in boxes are amazing. So how do you go from, YouTube creator, backyard guy, like, yes, okay, you can make a good brisket, but where do you learn the techniques to, apply this to competition? Making these boxes look as good as you do, or did you take any classes locally, or did you just kind of just by hanging out with in the crowd learned over time? Like, what would you say?
Well, I mean, I definitely took barbecue classes.
Okay.
So I have taken competition classes. I kind of look at it like golf.
Yep.
If Tiger Woods wants to be the best in the game, he's got golf lessons.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few professional golfers that don't, go and take some golf lessons and work on their swing. So in this craft of competition barbecue, even if it's to go to take a class just to see what someone else is doing, maybe not necessarily run their program or run their program, but to see there might be certain techniques that they're doing that I can pick up and apply to my game, which I would say for sure, the classes have been a huge turning point as far as learning curve to be able to compete and to be able to get walks and actually pull in some wins,
at that level.
And I would tell anyone, go definitely, if you've been cooking for a little bit and you're not getting the walks or the calls that if you're sitting in your chair with some glue to your seat, find a class that uses the same type of cooker you use, because, if you're cooking on drums and you go take a class with an offset, it may not transfer. You need to kind of, take the class on the type of cooker that you're using. If you're using a Weber Smoky Mountain, that works similar to a drum. So take a drum class. If you're using an offset, go take somebody that runs an offset, because, the heat moves from different cookers in different directions. And when you're playing around with pork butts and stuff like that, I cook mine on a drum, but, I couldn't do the same box, the same technique if I was using an offset. I would have to change the way that I cook, and maybe even change the parts of the pork butt that I use for my turn-in, just because it won't cook the same.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, Uncle Steve asked, how do you like the new place in Magnolia?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, you're in Magnolia.
So I've moved to Magnolia, which is just outside the city limits of Houston, and I've got an acre of land. We moved here about a month ago, maybe a month and a half or 2 months, but it's an acre of land. I can keep my barbecue trailer on site. I don't have a homeowners association, and it's a real small town feel out here, which before I was in a subdivision with the homeowner sending notes about my trailer in the driveway. And, if I'm trying to clean out a drum, I've got grease running down the streets into the sewer. My wife's all mad because, people are going to drive by and see it. So,
Yeah.
So now I can, make a mess out in the backyard and nobody can see it,
Amen. That's the best.
You must know our buddy Ian Hemmings from Custom Cutting Boards R Us and out of Magnolia.
What's that?
You know Ian Hemmings?
No,
Custom Cutting Boards?
I don't know. Maybe.
No.
I don't. Is he in Magnolia?
He's in Magnolia.
Yeah, he's in Magnolia.
He's in Magnolia.
Yep.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Just outside of Houston.
Well, I'm new to the neighborhood.
Oh,
so,
okay. All right. Good stuff. Small world, though.
So, obviously playing around with everything, because you started doing the YouTube and dabbling in comps, and then you started with IBCA, and then jumped up to, or not, I hate to say jumped up.
Jumped over or whatever.
Moved over to throw your hat in the ring on the KCBS.
Yep.
And, looking at the posts every weekend, you've been crushing it for 2 years straight. You've been doing very well for yourself, and, that's a badge of honor for sure, because you've been putting your time in. That, that comes out first and foremost in the forefront. You're out there every weekend. You're hitting it, and you're hitting it hard, and you're getting your results.
Yeah, I mean, you can take classes and, but if you're not cooking a lot, it's, you build muscle memory and mental memory cooking every weekend. So there's, if you're cooking once a month or whatever, or, once every quarter, it's like waking up in a new world every day. But if you're cooking every weekend, it's easy to start to fine tune your process or make little changes. And the muscle memory from cooking week in and week out, that you can't get from a class. That's just something you have to get out and do.
Yeah.
That's just something, you have to get out and just cook. There's no replacement for, I think Tuffy Stone said, building a big ash pile. I mean, that's where it comes from. So you can't get that from a class, but the classes can get you in the right direction, but you still have to go out and burn the meat every week.
You got to apply. You still got to apply it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now, Jonathan Barton from Barton Barbecue says, "Congrats, Bill, on the Royal Walks.
Yes.
You are an inspiration to us beginners." Mr. Barton also is no slouch. Also went for a little walk this weekend himself.
Yep.
On some 8th place ribs.
Amazing.
Which was great.
Nice job, boys.
So that.
Yeah, I mean, Barton, he's a badass. Don't kid yourself. You know what I mean? He is a badass, and he may be limited in his KCBS books, but I don't. Just like any of us, if he gets out there and hammers them down, I don't see him having a problem one bit of striking out the GCs. He's done very well in IBCA, and granted, I think he's only maybe done. I don't know if this is his first KCBS. He went up there in the open and hit an 8th place rib out of 480 teams. So not a bad result if it's his first contest.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
See, 400? Is it 480 teams?
Oh yeah,
for the open.
For the open, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy.
Coming in the top 50 is amazing.
It was absolutely crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
obviously through everything, you're trying this, you're trying that, sauce, rubs, different seasonings, techniques. And then one day,
hand it over.
The Texas rib grind was born.
Give it. You know what I do?
How long did this take you to perfect? Because clearly, through the pictures, the color, the flavor is tremendous.
And are you using it on competition?
I want to say probably 3 to 4 months I worked on it, somewhere around there. And I mean, I cooked my first KCBS, and I posted a picture of my rib. And, I don't know if you watch a lot of KCBS rib pictures, you really, they're pretty solid. You don't see a lot of pepper, in a KCBS rib. And in Texas, we cook, in Texas ribs, that's essentially a Texas rib, and that rub is good on ribs with no sauce. And I wanted a rub that I could market also to the backyard guy that's not doing competitions, that would just make a good catering rib, a good rib that people would want to eat, on a Sunday. And, I've got restaurants and food trucks wanting to buy it by the pound because they want to use it in their food trucks, which is, great for me. But it's done really well in Texas. And there's also, KCBS guys working it into their program. And as well as me, I used it on my chicken this weekend. I take it and put it in a little grinder and kind of knock the coarseness down. And it was my last layer on my chicken to give it those little pepper flakes in there. Some of it is for appearance, but I'm not changing anything with the second place chicken using rib grind on my chicken.
No, hold on. You're jumping the gun. Granted, I know I already blasted it out on all the social medias all weekend anyway. So... yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal. Definitely, obviously, a winner. But then we come to this weekend.
Mm-hmm. By the way, phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
The old American Royal. What was your experience preparing, first off, qualifying, because you cooked both sides of it, the invitational and the open. Right. So, obviously for the invitational, you need to grand champion a KCBS sanctioned event throughout the year. And now, was there different preparations for the Invitational than the Open, or does that pretty much stay the same?
I've done doubles in KCBS, so I've done quite a few double headers, and I just try to look at it as just another double header. I talked to several of the teams, guys that I've met on the circuit. Hey, do you do anything different for the Royal? And some of it was, hey, there's a lot of celebrity judges, so you might want to go a little more tender, just because some of the certified judges aren't as maybe certified as a regular contest. So, but yeah, I mean, I looked at it just as it's another double header. I didn't sign up for any of the, I cook by myself. So it's usually just me. And if my wife goes, she'll run my boxes. So I didn't sign up for any of all the side pots, the vegetables and potatoes and sausage.
Yeah.
I just focused on there's teams there that do, you can do 10 different sets of turn-ins, between sausage, desserts, and, these guys go all out on these desserts and whatnot. I mean, they're really elaborate. Just watching the desserts I went to watch dessert turn-in just to see them all. But I just focused on the 4 main meats and looked at it as just another doubleheader contest. I might have a little bit longer of a walk to turn in because there's so many teams, but I didn't really do anything different because of the Royal. I ran my exact same program.
Nice.
Awesome.
I usually don't cook burn-ins. So
Okay.
I was a little nervous about that on most of the competitions I've done, I just don't even bring a point to a comp. I'll just bring a flat and cook a flat.
But you're in Kansas City.
I was in Kansas City and I thought, man, maybe I should do burn-ins. But at the same time, I didn't want to introduce something new to what I've been doing. I was just going to kind of run what I brung and whatever got me there and got my invitation, just run that and see what it does, like I said, I didn't even mess with the burn-ins.
And the
even though I was kind of kicking myself thinking I should do them, but in the end it worked out because I got a brisket call with no burn-ins.
That's it.
So,
Amazing.
So here I am, and this is how much I'm into this, because I will sit there if someone is live on Facebook at awards and results. I will sit there and watch them. So I am glued to the TV Saturday night, and we get to chicken. And it's going down 20, 19, 18, And number 2, join us on stage, Chicken Fried BBQ. And so you have the number 2 chicken in the world. But you forgot to mention one little caveat to that number 2 chicken. It was also scored a 180.
Yeah.
The perfect score.
So how do you not get first place then?
Because of how the judging is done, you automatically, the lowest number you get gets dropped. So then if it goes into a tie, it gets brought in. So if that lowest thing was in tenderness and someone else had appearance, the tenderness takes over appearance, because in the tiebreakers, it jumps to taste, tenderness, and then appearance.
It doesn't jump to another meat for a tiebreaker?
No, it's a different thing. Then there's a multiplier. It's this whole math thing that I don't want to get into.
Or probably
I think it may be, even if you tie on the drop score, which I don't know. I mean, I'll find out because I'm good friends with Smoking OCD. They're from Texas as well. So Jeremy and his team got first place chicken. But I think they even do if the drop score is tied, it might be a coin toss. I'm not sure. But either way, I was not expecting to be on stage. The top 3 of each category get to walk on the stage. My expectation or my hope going in was just to hear my name. If I heard my name called once, whether it was 20th place pork or 18th place rib, just to hear my name called once I was going to be a happy camper. And so to be able to hear my name and get to walk up on the big stage with the 180 and chicken was just, it was surreal. It was over the top.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, we get the 10th place brisket call. So we walked on the invitational and we walked on the listen to me like I'm a little mouse in his pocket. So you walk on the invitational, you walk on the open. 10th place brisket in the world.
Out of
and I
over
got to
400
give
games.
that to Daddy Dutch. Daddy Dutch helped with that brisket walk. I got to give him credit, So Daddy Dutch was big on the brisket. So.
Was he? He's a good guy.
Yeah, we cut a piece. I sliced it
right.
early. I sliced the brisket. I just sliced one piece about 5 minutes early, and I cut that one piece into 6 different pieces. And we tried, I guess, probably 3 different options of au jus to sauce the slices with, and Daddy Dutch knows what they are. But we tried 3 different options, and him, me, and my wife all agreed on option 3. And so that's the one. That's what we used to au jus our slices as before we threw them in the box. And we all thought option 3 was way better than option 1 and 2. And it ended up working out to where we got on, a 10th place brisket call.
And those exact ingredients were?
Yeah.
Marinara sauce? Go ahead.
Those will be available in my next paid for class.
Yeah.
There you go.
Woo!
There you go. Marinara sauce.
Marinara sauce.
Pine number 3.
Pine wood number 3.
There you go.
Love
Those are the top 2. Right?
Check. I love pine. Oh, bamboo. Bamboo.
Bamboo also has a nice hint. So, what were you feeling when you're sitting there amongst all the competitors, just taking the whole thing in, and you just hear Chicken Fried BBQ?
Well, I will tell you that my chicken has been doing really, really well. So I've been cooking the same chicken since Mississippi. I started putting rib grind on my chicken in Mississippi and got a first place chicken. And then a couple of weeks later, I went to Cedar Park and got first place chicken again with a 180 in Cedar Park. Then I went back to Mississippi, got a second place chicken. It seemed like over the last probably, 2 to 3 months, most of my chicken calls have been, pretty high. Been getting 178s. I've had a 180, a couple of first places. So I was pretty confident in my chicken. Probably my chicken would be more confident than any other meat. And when I heard the names of people that were walking in chicken, I knew I had cooked against a lot of those guys before and either been right one above them or right below them, just kind of in the mix with them. I saw Brad walked in chicken, and me and him have cooked same contest where he got maybe first chicken and I got second chicken. So, a lot of times you'll see people walk, and if you've walked next to them before, you start to feel pretty confident or pretty good that, hey, my number could get called here because I've cooked with these guys before, and either I've beat them or they've beat me, but we've all been around the same. So I was feeling good about chicken when I saw the people that were walking in chicken.
Beautiful.
Even I was sitting with Phil Breeden, and we were sitting on my porch, and he's like, dude, your chicken, and I was showing him the pictures of the boxes before going to awards, and he's like, I'm pretty sure you're going to walk in chicken. Your chicken has just been so automatic lately. And I was like, man, I hope you're right. He goes, well, the box looks beautiful, dude. There's no way. You're definitely walking in chicken. And sure enough, second place. So
freaking amazing. Just amazing.
He said it on. He said that on the open as well, and I didn't walk in chicken. So, but he did say that, man, your brisket. I want to eat your brisket. Your picture looks so good, it makes me want to eat it. And I did walk in brisket. So,
and then you.
But yeah.
Shit. Was it you who had the picture of the slice of brisket? That it was sitting like an arc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little arch. Barbecue Bus does that. So
Yeah.
the Barbecue Bus does the arch, and so they post. They kind of, I think they're the ones that kind of came up with it. And, I'm pretty good buddies with those guys, so I started to kind of copy it and ask them if I'm doing it right. It's just a little friendly banner between teams.
Oh, absolutely.
So arch, like they actually arch the brisket a little bit?
No, it was a picture
When
of
they
a
do it?
piece of brisket, and you had it arched, so it's literally standing on both ends. So you got it's all staying together, but there's a nice bend that'll keep it.
Not in the box.
No, just
for
on
the fun of
on
it.
your board.
Isn't it so funny
Just
how
on the cutting board.
Isn't it so amazing how subjective taste is? Where you can get a second place walk in the Invitational, but not a walk in with the same, probably almost the identical box of chicken for the Open.
And I thought my day 2 chickens on the Open looked just a touch better than my day 1 as far as appearance. But I did look at my scores, and I got all 9s in appearance by every judge. So it wasn't as if, and I haven't seen my scores for the Invitational, but I'm pretty sure, most of my appearance scores are usually 9s. I'm pretty sure it was 9s. But I could be wrong. But I did think that my day 2 chickens looked a little bit better than my day 1 chickens.
What about the bite through or the tenderness or the taste of those compared to the first day?
They always taste the same. I mean, I'll taste my chickens and I'll be like, I'll grab one of them. Obviously, you can't taste the ones that you put in the box, right? So,
right.
But I'll taste them, and Daddy Dutch has tasted it, and I don't think that. It's not like, wow, oh my God, it's probably not the best chicken that you've ever tasted. It's just a really balanced chicken. You bite into it and you probably just can't find anything wrong with it. It's not like, oh man, that's too much salt or too much garlic or too much this or it's just a kind of a normal, average, in the middle, nice, juicy chicken.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have that
but it's
balance.
nothing. It doesn't have I don't think it has the flavor that makes you think, wow, man, this is delicious. I want to eat a whole bunch of them.
Chris,
it's just kind of down the middle where you can't find anything wrong with it, and that's from what I'm learning about KCBS. That's what you want to put in front of the judges. You want them to take a bite. Joe Pierce told me, Bill, you want them to take a bite and go, that's good. Give it a 9 and move on. You don't want them to think about it. You don't want them to go, wow, man, that was really good. What was that? I don't know what that ingredient is. And they start thinking, and then, okay, I'm going to give them an 8.
Right. Chris,
you just want them to bite it, taste it. That's good. I'm going to give it a 9 and move on.
Chris Rosinski here says, question is, do you think that the difference in scores could be a difference in judges? Do they have the same judges, or is there a crossover of judges for the Invitational and for the Open, or 2 separate judges altogether?
They'll need a lot more judges for the Open. I mean, you got 400 and something teams, so they're going to require a lot more judges for the Open than they would the Invitational. The Invitational was 180 teams, I think, something like that.
But there are judges that do both. They'll do both. They'll cross over and do both, probably both days.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure the same judges that judge the Invitational will judge the Open, plus twice as many more.
Yep.
So, and then it's a case of what tables do you land on.
Yeah.
So it's, you're only being judged by 6 judges. So, some judges are more experienced, other judges are brand new. So you don't know, especially on the Open there was probably I'm guessing a lot of celebrity judges. Maybe they've been trained, maybe they haven't, maybe they were all trained the night before. I don't know. So I try not to put too much into that. I try not to put too much thought into what happens on the other side of the tent.
Got it.
I get my scores. I look at my scores. If I see something trending, then maybe I try to make some change, network with some other teams. Because a lot of the teams are really good about helping each other out. It is a brotherhood, so
Absolutely.
If you're struggling on a meet, generally there's a guy that will be willing to help you with the thought that, hey, if I come to you for help with another meet, you'll help me, so
right.
It's people want to see their friends walk if they don't walk,
Right,
so
right.
And I'm the same way. If I'm not walking, I want my friends to do well, and if I can help them and they can help me, we all have fun in this game together.
And you want to help them because you want to beat them also, but at their best.
Of course.
That way they can't give any excuses afterwards. You when you smoke their asses.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, I love that. Everyone's willing to help. When we did our first KCBS in June, it was like, just like everyone around here in New England, these little comps, everyone knows each other, and people just coming up. Hey, you guys are the new guys. Hey, welcome. Let us know if you need anything. It's just, everyone was so nice. People are, showing us, here's what you want to watch out for your turn-in boxes, and I mean, it was like we could feel the love. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, it's barbecue is good people, and I got into the thing. Doing competitions, but I ended up just meeting a bunch of really good people that I've become great friends with. And now it's going out and hanging out with my friends, just like I used to do when I deer hunted a lot.
Yeah.
I'd go to the deer lease and hang out with all my buddies. And now I go to parking lots and wake up at 4:00 in the morning and bullshit with all my buddies,
That's right.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, Bill, first, thank you so much. About time we finally made this happen. I was so excited. Congratulations on the walks. Congratulations on just your success on the circuit in general. You're doing great, and I'm honored to be able to call you my friend. And
for sure,
I'll be in touch for a couple tips.
Yeah. Well, congrats to you guys. I mean, I saw the show when it was kind of first starting off, Johnny, and you guys have done really well with the show. And, you've grown, you've had some really great guests, so it's been fun to watch you guys. And back when I was working, I really couldn't watch it, but now every once in a while I'll get in there and if I'm not trimming a brisket or something and see what you guys are up to. So.
Awesome.
Nice
brother.
to finally meet you, Bill.
Congratulations, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, brother. Thank you. Awesome. The walk at the Royal.
Just amazing. Can you just imagine the feeling? I mean, the walk at Barbecue Bedlam was amazing. Never mind the Royale.
Just wait till you see my walk this weekend.
Oh!
I'm calling my shot now.
So we got the Riverfest at CMAX this weekend, and it's just a fun little tailgate thing with the People's Choice Awards.
Hell yeah!
But I just wanted to give one big shout out to the team, to our barbecue team, New England Pitmasters Barbecue, Kevin K. Yore, Chris Crawdaddy Crawford, Craig McPherson, CMAC. Proud of you guys. Our second comp. Just a local one. First one, we came out of the gates, did the best we could. This local one, we crushed it, and I'm looking forward to doing more comps with my dudes. Love you guys. That's all I got.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to this weekend. And I'll see you this weekend.
We'll be there Saturday.
What are you cooking? I guess we'll see.
You'll find out. It might run with a barbecue Sunday on a Saturday.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
But next week, we are being joined by John Furman of Bub and Mother's Down East Dinner Dust out of Winter Harbor, Maine.
Wow. I love the locals.
So we're going to need some subtitles for 3 New Englanders on this one.
True story.
Don't look at the Australian for that.
And for anyone that's out there that's local, tomorrow night. What is tomorrow? Thursday night, my pop-up, Barbecue Broker Catering at the Woburn Stoneham Elks. 6 to 8, $40, all you can eat, DJ, cash bar. Oh, don't feel comfortable eating inside? Grab a to-go ticket and we'll run it out to you in the back of the Elks. That's this Thursday, Woburn Elks. Check out Barbecue Broker Catering on Instagram or Facebook if you want to buy a ticket.
It's delicious.
That's it.
I've had it.
Try the award-winning ribs, why don't you? I'm just saying. Until next week,
keep the smoke rolling.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.